Greetings, fellow seekers of knowledge. It's your boy Isaac Anzu back again with a brand new invention. That brand new invention is called Blender. And we're back again with it. Now, you might be looking at the title of the stream, you might be looking at me, you might be looking at your memories from last time and thinking, this isn't edit mode. Well, a very good reason for that. I do want to keep working on this library scene, and we can catch up a little bit while we get on the library scene. Slowly but surely. That's the thing, right? And besides, your boy has to remember how to blend. You go a week without blending, it's like a week without breathing. How are you even supposed to believe after all that time? A week without breathing is like a week without believing in Jesus. Damn it. Why do all my songs have to turn into Christian rock hits? That is just so untrue, though. I've made a lot of songs that aren't Christian rock hits. In fact, none of my songs have turned into Christian rock hits except for this one. I hope this isn't part of a trend. That'd be upsetting. Very upsetting. So the big news from this weekend is that I went to another Weihnachtsmarkt, which is a Christmas market for those of you that don't speak German. And it was so much fun. I just like Christmas a lot. All the Isaacs down in Isaac's library liked Christmas a lot. But the Isaac who lived up on Isaac Mountain did too. Also, I've been binging this YouTube playlist that I found called like Christmas specials. And like, boy howdy, there's a lot of Christmas specials out there. Did you know? And I watched the Garfield Christmas special, which was funny. But I haven't watched a bunch of the other ones yet, and I need to. Like, there's a He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, and you know, I gotta watch that, even if just because... I mean, I didn't actually watch He-Man and She-Ra back in the day. But you know, your boy, he loves that meme. You know which one. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that meme. What is that meme? Okay. Then we do grab on the Z-axis with control. We're still a little like Waka Waka here. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Hello, Con. Welcome. Good to see you. I need to watch the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special, even though I'm not. So back in the day, I was more into Thundercats, is the thing. We had a Thundercats book that you must understand was pretty instrumental in my development. Because they had the, I don't know, there was an evil pirate, evil cat robot pirate, and the evil cat robot pirate had an evil cat robot parrot. and it was all like they captured one of the Thundercat ladies, and the little parrot was like, boy. And for some reason, couldn't tell you why, that line just stuck with me. But hello, Con, how are you doing today? Hope everything's well with you. I saw you give me a shout out 2 days ago. I was not online 2 days ago, but I appreciate the shout out nonetheless. What do we do when the power's out? But speaking of important causes, apparently the last couple days have been a strike for the freeing of Gaza, the Gaza Strip. And I gotta say, I agree wholeheartedly. That strip gotta be free. Why aren't they free in the strip? Don't they understand? People love the strip. Yeah. Of course, Hamas should not be killing people, but Israel had the opportunity to be the bigger person, and they just didn't. They just didn't. They retaliated in the silliest way, and now everybody's upset at them, and they're like, whoa, why? Idiots. Anyway, we're very anti government terrorism here. If you didn't know that already, you might not know that about me, but my government anti-terrorism levels are off the charts. Israel literally doing everything wrong. I know. They need to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie will teach them. All right, duplicate. I think there is a book for that. Yeah. They snitched on themselves and said they've killed more civilians than... I mean, of course they have. I don't think anybody with a brain doubted that. Also, hi, Crundle. Welcome. Glad to see you. So, I've been thinking a lot about my streams lately, and I've come to a conclusion. It's the kind of statistic we're supposed to find out years after the fact. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those statistics that they, like, you know, don't tell people. I mean, it's going to be a modern Holocaust. No two ways about it. Look at the big old hugs in the chat. I love that. So I've been thinking about my streams recently, and I've come to a few conclusions. Hug for me too. Well, thank you. First off, I think that with my wife's new job, I'm going to start streaming a little earlier again. Not quite back at my old time, but I think starting an hour earlier, and that should give me more time to get some streaming in before I go to work, because this whole like 2 hours 3 times a week, I don't feel like it's enough, you know? The Isaac experience, you know, you need more. You need more Isaac. there's just not enough time for me to properly display my prowess. Doesn't scratch the itch. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. The other thing I was thinking about is that, you know, look it into my veins. It's been a while since I have really done something special with the channel. Except, yo, it's Seven the Vampire, hashtag dog. What's up, man? What's up, dog? Hey, dog, what's up? Hashtag dog. Yes, welcome, Seven. What's the context for today's hashtag? How's the hashtag game? I don't understand what's going on. I just wanted to join in. Hashtag dog. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for bringing your crew along. Appreciate it. The procedurally generated shout out should be coming soon. I'm also just gonna shout you out. Shout out, Seven the Vampire. We played Fate and had fun. Nice. I was just talking about my lack of new things on stream. It's been a while since I added something to stream. I mean, I do have this cowboy hat. I added that to stream last time, but that's not really something that I'm like proud of adding, right? Anyone can be a cowboy. It takes a man to be a cow man. Cowboys, cowgirls, cow women. Don't forget about the cow women. Very important. And of course, the cow children. The cow VTuber model coming when? Well, okay. So that's the thing. I want to do more interesting stuff with my VTuber model. I want to do more interesting stuff with my stream. I like having this set schedule of things to stream. I like having Blender Wednesdays, Blends days, if you will. Happy Blends Day. And I also like having Music Fridays. There's no good single word for that. Goat Simulator 3. We could get back into it. My wife is saying nonsense words at me. Rude. True. And I do enjoy having video game on the weekend. Like, yeah, we know. Floppy Goat Friday is perfect. Yes. We'll only play the hardest rage games and just here to suffer. We'll have Cuphead Thursdays. Cuphead Thursdays. We'll have Dark Souls the Monday. No, really the thing is, Cuphead was fun, dude. I'm so sad we live so far away from each other because Cuphead was a good time. We got to figure out a nice asynchronous game we can play even with the bad ping. What if I just take this book? What if I take this book? But essentially, even though I've been enjoying my schedule, I haven't really done anything new with the channel. Playing with lag was like learning a completely different meta. The lag meta. Powerful. Playing with lag is like playing with Rock Lee's ankle weights, and then you take them off and you're like, wow, nothing can touch me. Tell me I'm wrong. I ain't wrong. But yeah, I noticed that even though I feel like my stream has been getting pretty, I don't know, polished, it could be better. It could be more. You just got to guess 5 seconds into the future amongst intense action sequences. Easy. Yeah, my normal ability to guess 5 seconds in the future really helped out there. But I have to say, I don't think it's as easy as one might initially guess. Polish? I thought you spoke German. Ja, ich spreche Deutsch. Was für, meine Kerle? Ja, wir machen jetzt ein nur Deutsch streamen. Ja, wie geht's? Ja? Wie ist das für Sie? Ja? Hm? Gibt es gut? Wir müssen zurück zum Englisch gehen. Back to English. It's like a werewolf transformation. Werewolf transformation rules. Je ne sais pas. Werewolf transformation rules. If I see the word German, then I transform, right? It's by the light of the pixels that are in the shape of the word German. Khan, you could have never corrected that, and I would have just believed it was perfect French. So, don't worry too much about that. But yeah, I noticed that cool streamers whom I admire keep doing new things with their stream, like new models and new redeems and new, I don't know, technology, right? So I feel like I need to set some new stream goals, right? Not like I want to stream this, I want to stream that. More like I want to make something cool, right? I want to make something super cool. And I don't know what that would be. Maybe we could, you know, a lot of people are doing charity streams this time of year. Maybe we could do a charity stream. I haven't ever done one of those. Gotta give them SMART goals. That's right. Superman's asshole. Really likes Terraria. What? It's timely, realistic, achievable. Settable, marketable, manageable. Right, because achievable and manageable are different. Those are the two that are they colloquially mean the same thing, but they actually are meaningfully different. And smart is super. Smart goals. Specific. Bad that I couldn't remember that one. It's like plausible versus possible. Yeah. Well, I think manageable also, I think manageable also implies that you can break it down into smaller sections, right? And oversee it easily. One of the best things you can do for a goal is just break it down into small sections. Now I'm thinking about Crundle's comment though. Do every month a different genre. You know, there are lore VTubers who do entire streams where they just do like a lore thing. And then it's over in like 30 minutes and they play Fortnite or whatever. But that could be fun. I've always wanted to do a storyline type thing. I've been meaning to get back into writing anyway. All right, we made some books. Balla. Open recent. Edit mode. Let's pull up the toots. Let's pull up the toots. I need to get my lore animatic series made, bruh. Dude, I need to get this fucking rap album video series made. I'm almost done with the second video. It's taken a month each video. A month! And I don't want to release this in 2 years. I want to release it in now, but the internet needs visuals or the little fish brains will rot away. What I need is to assemble a team. The Anzu Vengers. The Zoovengers. Are you trying to release it piecemeal like you did your other rap series? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to release it serially. I'm trying to get the material made, right? So that when it comes to release time, I can do like a series of videos and content leading up to the release. Boom, big release. Some after release stuff like, sharing people's reactions to it and hyping up the view count and bullshit like that. And then after a short break, lead right into the next one. So it'll be like a cycle, a series, like every 2 weeks or so, a new music will be released. The problem is, if I want to release it one every 2 weeks, but it takes a month to make a video, you see the problem here. I need to get all the videos done first. And I'm so bad at video editing. I'm not bad at it, I guess. I'm learning. I did that Natron, whatchamacallit. I did the Natron training arc, which is really helpful actually. But now. Now. What's the lore behind your spaceship? It's a green screen to make me feel cooler. Good. Good lore. What kind of video editing style are you looking for? Honestly, my ideal is that each video has its own style. Each video has its own unique thing that it does. Crunchle's lore is actually being a Hollywood actor. Yeah. So in order to get this unique style, I'm learning a lot of different ways to do things. Like Natron. I'm learning how to do things in Natron. I'm learning how to do things in Shotcut, and I'm learning how to do things in Blender. I do actually want to use Blender for one of these videos eventually. I mean, we need to learn the power of the edit mode first. But look, I can grab a face. Surely this is enough. I can make a rhomboid. Very powerful. It's all you need. Grab my face, please. See, with this, I could make the thing that I wanted to make earlier. Achievement get! Face grabber! Beautiful. Yeah, this is the shape that I wanted earlier. Oh, isn't there... in object mode, what's this? I learned this. I learned this from YouTube. And Khan is probably going to shit and piss and come in his pants all at the same time. But if you hit shift space, then 3, you can use the scale cage. And the scale cage lets you scale things as if you're scaling the cage. Isn't that nice? It lets you scale from the opposite corner in 3D. And I thought that was super useful. Khan says, excuse me. Yeah, bruh. This is the truth. This is the true. This is the true truth. This is the way. This is the way forward in life. This is how we scale from now on. Scale like functional human beings. Dude, you got to get on like the Blender section of YouTube Shorts. I know so much about Blender that I just have no idea how to use. I don't know anything about what are they called? What are they called? Modifiers. I don't know anything about modifiers, except I do know so much about modifiers because every single Blender tutorial is like, do you know how to make a piece of cheese? Use the Boolean modifier. It's easy. Making a piece of cheese in 1 minute using the Boolean modifier. No idea what's going on, but it's pretty hot. How'd you think so? Modifiers are pretty simple. We'll get there. We'll get there. Right now, I just need to remember what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Okay. It's the reason I am technically only half a Jaguar man. Oh, do you like duplicate? You like mirror the other side? Super smart though. It makes you perfectly symmetrical. Mirror modifier, baby. If I delete something, in if I delete something in edit mode, it only deletes what I select, like a face or a vertice. The catch is I can't make blend shapes with active modifiers. Oh yeah, I know nothing about blend shapes. Okay, so that's the other thing. I have ideas of things to do for stream, but a lot of them involve a model. I don't have a model. Well, I have a PNG, and I can do a lot with the PNG, such as the, where is it? My, this face. This face is fun. However, I mostly made this face for Stray, and yeah. That's beautiful. Well, you must understand that this one was pretty easy to make. All I needed to do was just make a couple models with text over them. But if I'm talking about like a fully another like drawn modified model, right? I'm no artist. I can't do that shit. The most I can do is like add cat ears. There, this is my stray cosplay. Isaac drawing arc incoming. Maybe someday. I mean, to me, drawing is hard. I don't know. Because it's so easy for me to compare the things that other people do to the things that I do. Select a vertice, grab the vertice. It's so easy for me to compare the things that I do to the things that other people do with art, especially in terms of 3D perspective and human musculature and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you could always go Randall Monroe and just draw stick figures, but that ain't for everyone. Sometimes I want to do the super realistic, hyper detailed Korean manhwa shit. And, you know, it just doesn't work out. Basically, when it comes to music and Blender and stuff like that, I'm able to look at myself and say, you're allowed to make bad art. It's harder with drawing because there's so many artists that I admire and so many styles that I admire. Drawn realistically is a setup. I know, intellectually I know it. Basically, just find someone who draws bad stick figures and compare them. Look, we will have the Isaac Anzu drawing arc right after the Isaac Anzu emotionally comes to terms with the fact that he is a big fan of artwork and loves the style and techniques of many artists and is emotionally okay with not being able to do that himself, and yet still has some passion for drawing that he can pull from in order to create a meaningful learning experience arc. And you know, we're playing Minecraft right now, so I don't really have time for that. Anyway, let's learn on edit mode. So far, I've learned a few important things, such as grabbing and scaling and selecting faces. Oh, we can rotate faces too. Very important. It works the same way. Honestly, this is a huge bump in power anyway. Like if we're talking about like, let's just add a shape. We're talking about a mesh, like a cone. Oh, shoot. I need to add a mesh, like a cone. Go into edit mode on the cone. Like, even this is just hugely powerful, right? Grab this. Look at that. Power beyond your wildest imagination. Beyond your wildest imagination. Or even simpler, just grab this point. Look, now it's a jaunty hat. Oh, you got a point. Minecraft and chill is pretty important. You're right. You're so right. Just gotta find a style you like and go with it. But to me, style is what's left over after you simplify your technique, right? You start with technique, and when you simplify your technique, style is what's left over. I didn't learn a pseudo-realistic style until recently, to be honest. I just can't draw. It doesn't stop me much. I'm proud of you, Crundle. Can we grab the little... Whoa. Our little elf hat is... Look at this jaunty little elf hat. Jaunty. Fuck that. Find an art style and emulate until you start feeling it, Mr. Krabs. How are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? You know, that's a good it's a good thing too. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's a hollow shape. Is that allowed? I guess every single other shape we've made has just been a series of faces. But look, now we can make an ice cream cone. What? This is the visualizer for this song, I've decided. Actually, here's a question. I guess the way you could do this is animate the camera, right? We're gonna have to learn how to make animations in Blender. There's a whole animations tab. Remember how I said that Blender is like 17 pieces of software in one? So far, we've explored 2 We're on number 2 of the 6 of the first of the 10. There's a lot. Can you imagine if we get into scripting? Animation, rendering, compositing, geometry nodes, texture painting, UV editing, sculpting. Why does this look like the dick vein? Modeling, and of course layout. Wait, I guess sculpt and sculpting are probably similar. Yeah, but right now we need to go to edit mode. No, we need to go to object mode, and we just need a cube. I'm getting so far away from myself. Isaac Hollow Earth arc incoming. Yes, the sun in the center of the earth is going to be the power source. Yes, of the big Isaac. Yeah! Luckily, most of them headings don't really mean shit. Good. I'm walking around, big Isaac walking around. Sir Isaac, always a pleasure. Venom, it's so good to see you. Pyrite stopped by my stream the other day when I was disposed. I can just turn on my first cube. Can you get bigger? Well, have you heard of this square cube rule? I would collapse under my own weight if I got much bigger than this. Insert scared William Defoe looking upwards. .gif. When, Twitch, when will you allow GIFs in chat? That should be a basic function. Get on it, you jerks. To edit mode we go. Wait, why is there a... Why is there a cylinder in my cube? Oh, right, because I added a cylinder to my cube. Oh, I see. Holy shit. So when you add something in edit mode, it adds it as a part of the object. Wow. Well, that's cool. Hey, let's watch this tutorial. Well, welcome, Venom. So glad you could join us. Yes, if you know the square cube rule, it means that if you double one dimension of something, you cube the other dimensions. So if I were to turn this cube, if I was to double the size of this cube, the overall mass would increase by 8. Because then there's 8 cubes. So essentially, it's a reason why humans and other animals can't get too big. Because every inch of height just increases the overall mass so much. That's why the biggest creatures live in the ocean, where there's a lot more support for massive bodies, right? Hope you've been well, sir. We're doing better. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're talking about how I can improve my streams. How can man improve a stream? This is the question of the day. We were talking about lore streaming and creating models. Yeah, I think the problem is I'm just doing so much with these music videos that I really am having trouble finding the time for other things, which sucks. Let's watch this next section of the tutorial. This tutorial is 2 hours long, by the way. There's no way we're getting through any of it tonight.
So let's talk about extruding. You want to be in face select mode for this, and we can just select the top face here and press E to A, and then you can draw whatever you. By the end of this video, you'll know enough modeling techniques to make this scene right here. Detail. So let's talk about extruding. You want to be in face select mode for this, and we can just select the top face here and press E to extrude like that. And then you can scale it, move it around, rotate it, whatever you want. You can actually make a whole lot of things with just extruding and scaling, but you can.
Okay. So now I see. So essentially extruding, as Khan said last time, it creates a new set of vertices that we can then use. There you go. There's your space age command deck thing. And we can grab the face. Oh, and we can probably, yeah. Well, that's neat. Extrusion is the birth of models. Sun Tzu 2K23. You putting it 2K23 makes me just think of like FIFA 2K23, right? Which makes me feel like they should have like a Sun Tzu Art of War, like war simulator, and then just release a new one each year. Sun Tzu's branding needs to get on that for real. Whoa! Let's rotate along the y-axis. And have John Madden on commentary. Yeah, naturally. This is like that face guy. Rotate. Incredible. The blenders. So powerful. All right.
Extrude from any face to create some, you know, complex shapes like this. But I'll just hit Control Z to go back. And if you.
Oh, you can extrude from extruding. Whoa. It's limitless. And then we can just scale this down. What is this? That's intense. I can kind of start seeing how powerful this is. I'm over this year. It's been a terrible last 4 weeks, like super bad. Dude, for some reason, you, me, Robin, everyone just had an awful November. I got sick, my wife got sick, my cat got sick. My cat is still sick. Kind of. He's in recovery mode. He's getting his stitches out tomorrow, and then he'll be able to take the cone off, and that'll be nice. Oh. But yeah, also, November was hard for some reason. Right? Collectively, we had a tough November. But I've been feeling better about December. Truly. So, tell me about your November, Venom. I'd love to hear it. It was the worst. My best friend passed away. Oh, he was 41 and also my boss, so now I have no job and lost my best friend. November was the worst I can remember. It's been a very hard time for me. Oh. I'm just taking that in. That's so hard. With good friends and family, I'm doing well. Yeah, I mean, in times like there's a lot of boomer wisdom that's all like, be self-reliant and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and, you know, find your way in the world, right? Pyrite has been amazing and supportive. Absolutely. I'm glad to hear that. But I think the best advice I give to people in tough times is you really need to reach out to people. You need support networks. You need people to, you know, cook you dinner and drive you places or help you with the emotional labor of job searching or dealing with loss or all these things that people can do and people feel good about doing, right? And you have to ask them. You have to reach out. You have to find the people in your life that will support you through the hard times. On the plus side, out of a lot of people, I was a pallbearer for him, and that helped me say goodbye. Couldn't ask for more in that circumstance. That's really nice. I'm glad that you could do that for him. Gosh, now I'm just thinking about if one of my friends was to die. It would be tough. I'd be devastated. Stream might be canceled for a little bit. Haven't hidden anything, told everyone how I felt because I've learned bottling up things makes it worse. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Man, I watched a video recently. I think I'm gonna play it on stream because I thought it was just so important. Let me see if I can pull this up. Pause the music. Pause the music. I like this song, but pause the music. This is a life tutorial, okay? No, what are you doing? Why aren't... What? Why can't I just watch this video? Oh, here we go. It was just loading. All right, let's listen to the video. That's my November to a T. Sorry to be a downer. Apart from that, then not so bad, dude. Not a downer whatsoever. I think that these sort of topics are super important, and I'm going to play this video right now. I'm actually going to make this video bigger so that we can watch it all together, and you can see where I found it. Reddit.
Why do boomers hate young people so much? Obligatory, not all boomers.
So I won't get into the survivorship bias thing because that's already been covered. Like the fact that a lot of boomers died younger because of institutionalized racism or the AIDS epidemic or a bunch of other things. Due to my age, however, which is 38, I have a pretty good memory of the boomers that I grew up around. Now, obviously I can't speak to the experiences of people who weren't cis white men, because that is what I am. However, there is an element to the experiences of specifically cis white boomers that I do want to talk about, and that is the way they were raised. Now, the boomers were raised primarily by the greatest generation, or the war generation, which is the individuals who survived the Great Depression and then went on to fight World War II. They were born primarily in the late 40s through the 50s and raised in the 50s and 60s. And an element that needs to be recognized is the fact that the generation that raised the baby boomers, despite how we venerate them in this country, was deeply, deeply traumatized. The generation that raised the boomers had just survived the Great Depression and then survived the greatest war the planet had ever seen, the most violent and horrific conflict that humanity had pretty much ever known up to that point. The stifling social conformity of the 1950s makes a lot more sense when you consider it as the psychological reaction of a generation that's just been through something horrifying, trying to reclaim a sense of normality. Basically, the baby boomers were raised by a generation with a massive amount of trauma they were carrying around and very little institutionalized support to help them manage that trauma. So what did they do? They passed it on and fed it to their kids. This whole pull yourselves up by your bootstraps, nobody's coming to help you thing, they were fed that by their parents because their parents actually lived it. The greatest generation did their best to psychologically prepare their kids for a world that could fall apart at any second, and then they built a world that wouldn't. So now you have the baby boomers who have been raised by deeply traumatized parents to believe that self-reliance is the only way to survive in the world, and then they step into a world of unprecedented prosperity which goes on to completely distort their idea of what actual self-reliance looks like. And as a result of this, they started to believe that the prosperity they existed in was the baseline for what actual difficulty looks like, and thus that their self-reliance is what allowed them to succeed. It's really not surprising that a lot of these guys voted for Reagan, because they didn't understand the reason that the pillars he was disassembling were there to begin with. They didn't understand the world they lived in to begin with because it was completely at odds with the ideals they were raised with. And then when Reagan started disassembling it, well, they didn't understand why that was a bad idea because they didn't understand the whole thing to begin with. And now they're dealing with a generation that actually does know what's going on, so the cognitive dissonance has gotten even worse, and they lash out because they're traumatized and they're falling back on the things they were told as children, even though those things are completely at odds with reality. The ones who hate young people do so because the ideas they were raised with and the world they were given do not match up, and they do not understand this, so they lash out because the truth is confusing and frightening and they were never taught how to cope.
Yeah, so there's that. Essentially, I've had this mentality for a while now that just like the boomers were raised by traumatized people. And I've talked about it a little bit in terms of the idea that in the 30s, people were literally locked up for being different. People were deemed, mentally unstable for being slightly dumb, right? And locked up and taken away from their families. And so you get this generation who has like lived through depression and war and fascism, and they tell their kids like, only rely on yourself. Don't ever trust people with your feelings. And yeah, bottling things up makes them worse. I love having these kind of conversations because I feel like I'm helping people in my generation and younger shape a conversation that's actually productive, right? Shape a conversation where we can talk about these sort of things. So yeah, no apologies ever for coming in here and telling me respectfully about things that have happened in your life, even sad things, because we gotta talk about them. The thing is, I've lost a lot of friends in the last 10 years, around 13, but this hit me so much harder, even more so than my grandparents' deaths. I think of it as unexpected more than anything. Caught me off guard, and I still don't feel super angry at him right now. Anger is part of the process. Anger at the unfairness of things and of the suddenness of things. It's part of the process. And I think again, the most important step is processing the emotions, every single emotion. And it's so hard. I mean, it gets easier over time, but it's still hard every time. Because being stoic and being accepting and being empathetic and being able to process these ideas just means that when they do hit you, they hit you harder and they hit you from angles you weren't expecting. And it's hard every time. It's hard every single time. And that's life. It's the Dark Souls of emotional development. But yeah, I hope that you and your family are well, and I hope that you have the support inside and outside your family to keep working through this process, right? Cried so much for him more than anyone else. That's what confused me. But I'm okay. Good support networks, good friends and family. Yeah, thinking about myself, that's one thing that I do think about. I try really hard to maintain my support networks around the world, but when it comes down to it, good, not food. I have food support networks. The Food Network is a huge source of comfort for me. Bobby Flay and me go way back. But yeah, being in Germany is really, it's tough because like if something were to happen, yes, I have some people here, but the people who I really would want to hug and cry into, you know, a lot of them are just not here. And that's so tough. Really, it just means I should, you know, get out of my damn house and start making some damn friends. But, you know, we'll get there when we get there. Food is epic. I love food. I love food too. We went to a Christmas market this weekend and got some, well, okay. We got some Italian chocolate and then we got some Swiss chocolate, German chocolate. I got some really good chocolate. Really good chocolate. I like being at home. Everyone came to me, which made me feel loved and special. Yeah, I think if I were to lose someone important in my life, a vacation home would be high on the list of things to do. You have friends here inside the magic box. I know, and I'm really appreciative of my friends on the internet. There's just something about, you know, touch and hugging and crying and sharing a physical space with someone that makes a big difference when you're really emotionally vulnerable. Maybe what I could do is if I was really torn up about something, if something really devastating happened, I would go to the States and then private message certain people a place where we could meet up. And then just get some, you know, flesh and blood interaction with some people who I've come to love on the internet. Just glad I was there when he needed me. When he called, I went and saw him, spent time with him, helped him. Definitely no regrets on that aspect at all, thankfully. That helps. That helps. I mean, the brain is unfair itself. It'll always tell you could have done more, but it's good to have been there, right? It's good to have been there a lot. I should learn more about extruding too.
If you want to practice with this, you can try making something like a vase or a cup or a, you know, like a flower pot or something like that. You can just hit E to extrude, S to scale, E again, E, S to scale, E. And if you hit E and don't start moving it like this, you can hit S immediately and it will start scaling before moving it like that, and it will kind of just make the face smaller like that. So you can pull it in and then hit E again to go down. If you don't want to use the shortcut, we also have this tool over here, and this is going to work pretty much the same. You can just select faces and then pull on this little tool right there, and it will extrude for you. And if you want to switch back to the selection right here, you can hit W, and that's the shortcut for that. So I'll hit tab to go back into object mode, and I'll just pull this off to the side, and I'll add...
Okay. Mess around with extrude, make little vases and shit. Got it. Did all I could, so there was nothing else I could do. That's why I don't blame myself or anyone else. Makes grieving easier for all, but bring on next year. Gotta be better, right? Gotta be. That's how I feel about December. Already, I'm trying to do small things to make it better, like go to the Christmas market. You know, my wife got a job. That's really nice. I'm focusing on you know, how can I make myself happier? How can I make myself better, right? Awesome. Congrats to your wife. Thank you. She is ecstatic. Not only is it finally a job, but it's a job that she is really excited about too. So let's see. Extrude, scale it in, and then we just extrude down. And I guess technically we could highlight this face. Scale it out. Right. And now we have an inside to the bottle. Khan gives everybody a big ol' hug. May I ask what she's doing? Absolutely. She is going to be cataloging and maintaining photography equipment. How cool is that? Hopefully it makes things easier for you. Honestly, it'll be the first time in over 2 years that our income will be higher than our expenses. And that is so comforting. Like we've been operating in the red for 2 years now just to finish this degree and stay in Germany. And it's thanks to financial prowess and savings on our part that we're able to do that in the first place. And now here we are. We're doing it. We're finally back into the green. Positive. Been offered a few jobs in the last week or so, but I'm taking time off, family and mental health time. I'm a curtain and blind installer and have need for years on and off. Plenty of work I can get easily. Oh yeah. I mean, everybody who does like have been for years on and off. Yeah. Everybody who does like household maintenance stuff always able to find work. You know what? Let's do a cylinder. Let's make a cylindrical vase in edit mode using the extrude tools. And then we extrude up. Look at that. Easy. And then I guess we can like extrude scale, make our little lip, extrude downward until we start poking out, right? Well, actually, just extrude downward and then scale inward. And then extrude downward. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Extrude downward. Look at that. I was offered a job. Fam is on the come up. Love to see it. Yeah, the fam is on the come up. Blue too. Little Blue and he's wearing a little harness and cone and stitches, and he's gonna be nice and free tomorrow. He'll probably be very happy. Thanks for the big old hugs. Was offered a job to be away 5 days a week most week from the kids and partner. Yeah, don't want to know. Leave Monday morning, Black Friday evening, sleep all weekend to recover, then rinse and repeat. I'm a family man. That's good, right? One of the things that I realized, hug Blue but carefully. Oh, I just gave a random person a hug. I guess someone named 8HVDES is in chat. But it looks like they're a bot. Who is this random thing? Who are you? You and Commander Root. What are you doing here? Yeah, it's not going to win any awards at a pottery competition. Thank you for lending an ear and listening to my emotional story. It means so much to be able to vet in a different ear and ears. For sure. I think that with big events like this, it's not just about venting. It's also about establishing your new self, because you've changed, right? And so you need to be able to establish your new self in order to set the relationship, as it were, right? To reset the relationship into a new frame of reference. And yeah, we all had bad Novembers, but I would argue that you had a pretty bad November as well. And see, now if we go into object mode, we can just move this around. We can even cage scale it. Incredible. Cage scaling. My new favorite kind of scaling. That dastardly commander route. I know. I've got the list of the bots. There's 8HVDES, Commander Root, Creatus Bot, David 3 CETQD, Drapstat, Elysian, Lurks, Mark Zink, and Sleeping Beauty Syndrome. And Seribot and Pretzel Rocks. So essentially we can do all the things that we learned how to do in object mode, except we can do them now with any object we want. There, now it's a cannon. Do you like it? Just terrible time, but I'm doing a lot better. Drank Masara's away for like 14 days. Still raw, hasn't been 3 weeks yet. Will be on Friday, but I'm a good drinker. I cried. It was super emotional, but never angry or violent. Never had been while drinking. Always said if I was I would never touch a drop of alcohol again. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I haven't found a substance yet that really takes me so far out of myself that I would become violent. I'm not a violent person, and I haven't found a substance that would do that. But if I did, boy howdy, I would never do it again. Right? Man, Blender's cool, bruh. Blender's cool. I like Blender. How am I even going to use this knowledge? I don't know, but I have it. The possibilities are limitless. I can even go back into object mode, select a face, scale it out, make it more like the canon that it was always meant to be. Yeah, what is this? It's a vase. Okay. You know, this I'm really happy with how I'm learning this. I gotta say though, there is so much to comprehend. It's a nice little vial. Ooh, vial's a good word. There's so much to comprehend. There's so much to wrap your brain around with edit mode, right? You can't just learn something and say, great, I've learned it, right? Maybe it's just because I'm starting out in edit mode, but every single thing I have to kind of like, squish inside my head until I get it, right? You gotta do the Bugs Bunny Barber of Seville bit where he's like washing Elmer Fudd's bald head, right? The Barber of Seville. You know what would be fun to do on stream? Classic literature and media review. I've watched Pinch Raccoon. Shout out to Pinch Raccoon. I've watched Pinch Raccoon do art critic reviews, and I love it when they do it because they are very intelligent raccoon. Am I spelling raccoon correctly? How does one spell? It is 2 C's and 2 O's. Okay. Join us in following Pinch Raccoon if you haven't. They're super cool. I've watched them do art reviews, and it is excellent. Elmer Fudd, Wascally Wabbit, the original Uwu voice, Elmer Fudd. But yeah, I'm just thinking about music stuff, and it would be harder to do music stuff. I basically have to start with stuff that I know is in the public domain. Oh, my my Twitch was visible for a second there. It's all good. Edit mode is going to be essential for VTuber modeling more so than object mode. Yeah, looking at it now, I can see how you get from the cube to the VTuber, right? You just keep extruding things. That said, what should I do? Isaac Anzu Vile Tuber? Isaac Anzu House Tuber? Isaac Anzu Vile 2? Mostly because edit mode doesn't change the origin point. Oh, edit mode doesn't change the origin point. That is an excellent observation. Yeah, edit mode doesn't change the origin. Damn it, I'm still 11k away from Dame Dane. Dame Dane. You know, it's kind of funny. I should really change out my Dame Dane name. I love Dame Dane, but I have not been practicing Japanese whatsoever. I kind of stopped learning Japanese so I could start focusing on German. Maybe I should put a German song in there. What's a good German song? Question for the chat.
In a new shape with Shift A under Mesh, I'll just add in a cube.
We've added in a
cube.
cube
To go back into edit mode, And let's talk about beveling. So beveling, you can also bevel faces with Control B like that, and it's going to bevel all of the edges that are attached to that face. So if we hit Control Z and go back into edge select mode right here, we can just select one edge like this one right here and hit Control B, and that will bevel only that edge.
Okay, let's try this. You could do one for us, since we all had a shitty November, or sing Dame Dame in German. It's Shift B? No, Control B. Oh. Interesting. So it's basically doing an extrude and scale, but it's keeping the top face where it is. Okay, I can see how that'd be useful. Oh, it looks like we've got a lot of tools for it too. And we can also select just a... That's as far as we can bevel it. Or you could sing my favorite German song. What's your favorite German song? I know a few German songs. I used to sing in a German choir. Yo. Asch zu Asch. By Rammstein. Asch zu Asch ist ein Lied der neue deutsche harte Band Rammstein. Es wurde von Rammstein geschrieben und von Jacob Hellner sowie Carl Michael Helfersen produziert. Ashes to Ashes. It's not ass to ass. Ass to ass. Ass to ass. Oh man. That joke only works if you've been traumatized by Requiem for a Dream. Musikalisch wird bei Asche zu Asche Metal mit elektronischer Musik und Klangeffekten vermischt. The movie or the song? Ass to Ass would also work. Requiem for a Dream is a movie. Requiem for a Dream is a movie. I don't have to look that up. I know.
Select the one on the other side and hit Control B. And before you hit left click or enter, you can also use the scroll wheel, and that will add some segments like this to make it smoother. If we press left click to...
Okay. Are you sure? Con, you're gonna make me look this up. It's a film. It's a film. Even if I do Requiem for a Dream song, it's just the soundtrack. And the song is Lux Eterna. Lux Eterna by Clint Massell for the Kronos Quartet for the Requiem for the Dream soundtrack. Unless you're talking about this Requiem for a Dream song. Which has 33.8 million views. But I've never heard this one before. But stop trying to gaslight me. Requiem for a Dream is a movie. And even if it is a song, I know for sure it's a movie. Best be running. Have a good night/day, everyone. Thanks for stopping in as always, Crundle. I hope that the conversation here was entertaining. All right. So if I use the scroll wheel while I'm beveling, I can do this. Well, that's cool. We can make it very, very curvy. My God, that's a lot of curves. That's 130 segments. The smoothest of curves. Listen to that Rammstein song. It's my favorite from them. I will have to do that. So one of the things for learning a language or learning anything, how to add curves though, I know. But look, now I can extrude. Oh wait, I meant to extrude face. Well, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but now I have it. It's a frog. It's a little frog sticking his tongue out. That's cute. Can I do, wait. Scale along the x-axis only. Scale along the x-axis only. There, it's a little, yeah, it's like a mailbox. You're putting the piece of mail in the mailbox. One of the things that you really have to think about when you're starting to learn something is you need a big goal for what to learn, for why you're learning it, right? You need a big goal. Obviously for me, learning Blender is so I can do cool stuff in Blender. Specifically like make a music video in Blender, which would be awesome. I've been struggling to think of one for German, but I think that writing music in German would be really cool. And maybe that's just all I need. All I need is just some weird goal to decide to do things. All this music works really well with this color scheme, I gotta say. Isaac Krampus cosplay. Well, okay, so I'm hoping. Bam! Back to the cue. German music is the best, to be honest. Interesting. Let's bevel. No. Less faces. Honestly, so my friend is helping me make a model. What I'd like her to, what I asked of her to do is to make a model with just the horns. So that way I can like load in different other models that I find on the internet and shapeshift. Right? So if I do this, okay, when I get to that other point, it starts beveling downwards. What a strange shape.
place it right there, you'll also see this menu open up, and this will happen with most of the tools and other mesh operations that I'm showing you. You get a lot of other options that you can control in here, and I'm not going to talk about what a lot of them do, but for instance, you can use this shape option to make it convex or concave. And just like extruding, we also have a bevel tool, and this is going to work pretty much the same way. You can just select an edge and then pull on it, and it will bevel it for you. And one thing about all of the tools is that if you hit N to open up this side panel right here and go to the tool tab, you'll also have a lot of options right here, and they should be the same as the ones in here, except these ones only appear when you have the tool selected. I'll switch back to the selection tool, and I'll go into vertex select right here. And as you can see, if we hit Control B with only one point selected, it's not actually going to bevel. But if you look at the bottom, it will tell us a lot of different shortcuts that we have. And one of them is the V button. So if we hit V, it will start to bevel the vertices like that. There's also a separate shortcut, which is Control Shift B. And that will just bevel the points like that. And same as before, if you use the scroll wheel, you can add some more segments like this. So let's press Tab to go back into object mode.
Hold up. Bro is going so fast. All right, we select the vertice, we hit the bevel. So then we have a bunch of options down here. MASPCVOIHUKZN. This is blowing my mind. So let's bevel the vertice. That looks nice. Let's undo that. O. I. U. What else did he say?
And that will just bevel the points like that. And same as which is Control, will start to bevel the vertices. And one of them is the V button. So if we hit V, it will start to bevel the vertices like that. There's also a separate shortcut, which is Control Shift B. And that will just bevel the points like that. And same as
okay. So if I have a face selected and I hit Control Shift B, that is cool. Rounded cube. I'm playing a game called Superliminal. It's messing with my mind. Google that game. It's super different. Makes you think. I have watched people play through Superliminal. It is really, really cool. I don't know how they do that programming shit, but it's super awesome. So essentially we can get rounded vertices either by selecting the vertice or, Control Shift B. Oh, messy. It's messing with my mind. I hear it does that. Control Shift B. Look at the tiniest of bevels here. Just nice and smooth. All right, I want to bevel these vertices again. But make them super smooth. Look at my smooth cube. That's so many vertices. Pirate bought me Remnant 2 and a gift to play with him. Haven't had time yet, but it looks really good. Yeah, I love the first one. And, you know, our boy Robin has been trying to get me to play. Naturally. Now not so smooth, huh? What does that look like? We've located the nipple. All right. Back to the cube faces. Thank you.
Before, if you use the scroll wheel, you can add some more segments like this. So let's press tab to go back into object mode. Again, I'm just going to move this to the side over here, and I'll add in a new cube with Shift A, and we can select.
Isaac, participate in the current Twitch meta 2K23. It's just sex again, right? It's just they're doing the sex thing again, right? That's all it is. It was when the hot tubs came out, and now it's just barely censored on stream. You can't stop people from fucking around. Bevel me. Ooh. So, wait, this would make... Hold up. Grab this face on the Z and make it shorter. Grab this face. Bevel it. Grab this face. No. Extrude it. I'm that band, so I guess it's at least fair. Yes. Let's have men titties on stream as well. We must. All right. So if we bevel this. Like this. Scale out. Ooh, but how do I make those curves? I don't know. Oh. Wait a minute. I think I know. Let's bevel first. Select our top thing. No, actually, I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, because it only affects the top one. Oh, wait. I know how to do this. Do I? I mean, maybe, I guess. It's not as smooth as the other ones. How do we get that reverse bevel? I guess maybe what we could do is we could extrude. Oh no, wait, of course. you add an object in edit mode, it adds the same object. It's all part of the same object. So now what we can do is we can scale it on the Z to our desired thing, select the bottom part, bevel, select all of this, edit mode, where many objects become one, praying hands emoji. Let's just make sure every last thing is selected. Just carefully move it down. Oh. Okay. Till they kiss. Mwah. Now kiss. Yeah, exactly. 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 And now what we can do is we can select this, scale it in, and then bevel naturally right to the edge. Ooh, she's coming along, boys. All right. There's got to be a way to merge. Because what if I want this hole to be bigger? It's a fancy font. A fancy fountain. A fountain of fanciness. The fancy fountain of fountain fanciness. Looks fun. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things to do in Blender. There is a way to merge. I bet it's a tool. Merge. If you're trying to merge them at the KIF spot, select the vertices and hit M. Oh, I see. Just those vertices, huh? I can see how this gets out of hand really quickly. Let's select this face. And this face, and hit merge. They're merged. I mean, I assume. I assume we'll learn about merge later. But really what I wanted to do was, let's just select, like, these faces, and can we hit merge? It worked. And now if I select this vertice and move it down, a bit. Now our little bottle can have an opening. Well, they'll have two faces occupying the same space, so there'll be Z fighting, but you got the concept. Z fighting. A Pokemon move. All right, we've made a vase. A very powerful vase. What am I supposed to do with this power? This is a lot of power to give me. I hope they know that. I hope they understand how much power they're giving me. Have you ever seen a game where two textures meet and they rapidly flicker between each other? That's Z fighting. Ah, I see. They're fighting on the Z's. Like your shirt used to be. I see, I see. Do you think we have time to learn one more tool? I hope so.
To cube, hit tab again to go into edit mode. To inset a face, you need to be...
So technically you want to remove the faces and merge the edges, edges or the vertices. I see. Well, that makes sense. Merging kind of just combines them. That makes sense.
In face select mode, you can just select a face and press I like this. And when you have it where you want it, you can press left click. Well, let's press I again. And as you can see, there are shortcuts at the top this time. Sometimes shortcuts will be at the top, sometimes they'll be at the bottom, but you can see we have a bunch of other options. The one that I use the most is probably individual, which is I. So let's select multiple faces now. Let's select these two faces and press I. You can see by default, the inset faces are connected, but if we press I before we press left click or enter, then we're insetting them individually. And there is a tool for this one also, so you can select the inset tool, and this is just going to work the same exact way. And just like before, we have other tool settings up here, and we also have this menu down here. Just for some fun, let's select these faces that we inset and just scale them down a little so that we can actually see a difference when we go back into object mode. So let's make a new cube. We can drag this off to the side, shift.
This guy is like doing a cube per thing. Okay. Select a face, inset the face. Outset. Oh, interesting. And this is like everything else where you want to start your cursor a little bit far away. That makes sense. Confirm, enter, click, cancel, thickness, depth. Oh, that's nice. If you use control, you can adjust the depth from right here. Well, that's super nice. So why don't we do what he said, and he select three faces. Inset individual faces. Oh, we didn't select three faces. Bro. Inset these nuts. So if we inset like this, it'll inset like this, which is not uncool. Especially because you can do this. I mean, that is cool. But if we inset individual faces, then we can do this. Oh, you know what this would be used for? The books. Because if you were to say, make a shape, how should we do this? Yeah. scale this face out, or yeah, it's not even scaling, it's just grabbing. We're to make a book, so to speak. What we could do is face select, face select, face select, right? Inset individual faces. Individual faces. But it got... Oh, no. What we don't want individual faces. Select, 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 inset individual off, there's your fucking book, bro. Yo, that was easy. Easy peasy. He's beginning to believe. Dude, this might be the turning point. This might be the, oh, I'm starting to understand the power of the edit mode. So you're telling me I have to go do that for all 100 books? For all over 100 books that we've made in the library right now? Open recent. Library. We've got 129 books. This is the path. Well, so I can think of at least one alternative way to do it, which would be to make a book object and then redo all of the books with that book object, right? That's definitely one way to do it. The other thing I definitely want to do while I have this on here, select all these books and do the random transform. We want to randomize the Y scaling, so they all look like different books. Or not, depending on how you want to use this library. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? The other thing I could do is only do it on the stacked books, right? Because the stacked books are the ones where you can see the interior of the book. I don't need to do it on all of them. Yeah. If only there was a way to do it like by object class, right? If the audience ain't gonna see the pages, you ain't gotta do it. So true, brother. So true. All right. Let's be in face select mode. Let's just hide the shelves. Inset. Slight amount. The next book is gotta learn them sneaky sleights of hand. True. Less work for you, boy. Next is this one. It's one of the things, my favorite things about crafting stuff, the shortcuts. Legit. Seems really useful. My God, they look like books. We can even, we're in object mode, right? Oh. Can you add different materials to a face? I bet that's what UV mapping is, huh? Because here in object mode, we sure can add a material, but when we flip ourselves to edit mode, oh, can we add a material in edit mode? Please let me add a material to edit mode. It colors the entire object. All right. Well, you know what? Making these books look like books? That sounds like a good way to review at the beginning of next week's Blender stream. So let's do it then, shall we? And we can continue with the beginner-friendly Blender vids next time. Next time on One Piece. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. We rated Pinch recently, and we rated Bunnicula recently. I mean, the nice thing about having friends on Twitch is that you basically know who you can raid, and you always have people to raid, but then you just keep raiding the same people. We're gonna raid Silime. They're playing Breath of the Wild. Have a great day, sir. It was good to chat, and thank you. Thank you for coming in and sharing your feelings. We care about that shit. And it is shit, because in the end, you gotta work through them. But it's important. You know, a lot of the stuff you do in life is just shit you gotta do in order to have time and energy to spend on your real passions. But you gotta do it. You can't not do it. And I'm glad that we had some time to do it here. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for stopping in. We're gonna set up the raid message. That's not the command. Here's the command. Chimera raid. We're gonna go check out Silime. Cool, super cool New Zealand VTuber. New Zealander playing Breath of the Wild, a good game. And always up at this time of night, which is great for me because we get to raid each other. So, thank you so much for joining. My name is Anzu. I will see you next time for some music, Christmas music. Hell yeah. And farewell.